Go ahead and let's stand. Let's open up the song tonight.
Brother, I'm just laughing with you, brother.
Brother Marshall, open us up.
Heavenly Father, we're so grateful and thankful, God, for each and everything that you have done, God, and you're going to do. God, just pray for the ones that's on the way. It may be coming, God. Pray for the service tonight. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Amen. You got my hand on You got one of the pacemaker things in? Page 401. I'll get it started and y'all might have to take over. Oh, they tell me you're the honey on the They tell me you're They tell me Oh, they tell me Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of cloudy sky. Oh, they tell me Oh, they tell me They tell me I'm alone where my friends have gone. They tell me I'm away far away. They tell me I'm finding eternal bliss. Yeah, it's bringing me out of Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of cloudless sky. Oh, they tell me I'm alone, far beyond the sky. Oh, they tell me I'm in cloudless day. They tell me I'm walking in His beauty fair, and they tell me that my life shall be home, where He sits on the throne, and His marvelous in the city that is plain of gold. Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of cloudless sky. Oh, they tell me I'm alone where the storm has come. Oh, they tell me I'm in clouded days. They tell me that He's smile on His children's face. His smile drives their sorrows all away. And they tell me that those tears never come again. In the lovely land of clouded days. Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of clouded sky. Let me see.
The right hand home where no storm clouds rise.
The last part's always that same.
Well, I went back to the top verse.
We know.
Sounded pretty good to me.
Oh,
Trying to help
make a
you.
joyful noise, brother.
Sing
Praise
ours.
the-
I was not learning.
That's why Brother Kenny is the song leader, not me. Plus,
We tried.
We're not singers.
Page 396 is the easy one, brother. It has 2 verses.
396.
It has 2 verses.
Pretty good.
Trying to help you out a little bit.
And you know this one.
I thought I was kicking this summer cold instead. It come back today hard.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty easy one, Brother Mark.
I might think of it, brother.
If I get right here.
Precious darling, I'm here with my life is all a song. Hear my tongue, hold my hand, bless my tongue, take my hand. Precious Lord, lead me on. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on. Let me stay, I am tired, I am weary, I am tired. Through this world, through the night, lead me on to my life. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home, lead me home. In the shadows of fear, and the night drawing near, and the day is past and gone. At the river I stand, at my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stay. I am tired, I am weak, I am tired. Through this world, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Hey, no, I'll just go sit over there. Or I'll just slap them.
Hey, man.
Give him a nod, brother. Sick him.
Somebody know where you at.
Anyone got a testimony? Brother, if you stand up, give me a word, check your testimony.
Thank God saved. Thank God I'm here now. Yeah, son. I said, Brother Joe, he called me Sunday night. And I told him, I said, brother, yeah, son, I guess, we talk every day. But I told him Sunday night, I said, I ain't got out of bed. I think here tonight, and still got an awful prayer. I guess it ain't really a testimony, but I mean, getting late, but there was also two other young brothers coming by ambulance today. That was up there coming to him today.
Yeah.
That had, I guess, passed out or got too hot or whatever. And like three of them. And come to find out, they hadn't been given them the proper amount of water. And no wonder they had dehydrated.
Oh, yeah.
After all day long. And, but I do thank God for saving my soul. I thank God for salvation.
Amen.
And, I was talking to one of them nurses today, and I was laying there and they were getting ready to put that thing on. We got to come back to Lord.
Praise God.
And got to witnessing to her and come to find out she seemed to love the Lord. We got talking about him. And things supposed to start at about 12:30. Doctor come in there and she said, we ain't ready yet. He kind of looked at her sort of funny, about 1 o'clock. We got started, I guess. He didn't much like it, but you know, I needed that. It may sound crazy to you, but I need that. Me and her just sitting there talking about God.
Amen.
Amen.
And it does me good.
Amen, brother.
And it does you good sometimes. Just say it don't matter where we're at, we can always talk about Jesus.
That's it.
And there's other Christians other than right here inside this wall.
Oh, yeah.
And it does us good. And last night I got to talk to Brother Marshall a little bit over at the schoolhouse. We got the fellowship a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just no matter where we're at,
Yeah.
we can be in fellowship with God.
Amen.
That's a blessing, brother.
Amen. Just be.
And I just thank God for that. No matter how much we go through in this life, Jesus is always there. No matter how much trials and tribulations we may go through, God is always there, Brother Joe.
You're right. Amen.
Yes, sir.
We may have to go through all kinds of stuff down here on this earth. A lot of things we may not understand. I went through a lot of junk the last 7 years. And I don't know why I've had to go through a lot of it. I guess a lot of it's been my own fault. I don't know. I don't know why things have happened. There's one thing that's constant that always says, and that's that Jesus has always been there.
Oh, yeah.
He's never left me.
That's right.
Amen.
Never left me.
Said he would.
Why in the world would I want to leave him?
Come on.
That's right.
That makes no sense to me. Why I want to walk away from God.
He
He's
was-
been there and protected me every step of the way. Now, everything I've been through, physical, financial, everything, God has always been there. Every day, every day. And the only way I know how to live my life, brother, is just wake up every morning and say, God, you woke me up another day, now what do you want me to do with it? Give me somebody to witness to. Let me tell somebody about you.
Amen.
And whatever happens through this day, let it be for your glory.
Yes, sir.
I don't worry about what happens through the day, Brother Joe, because I know God's got it under control. People worry about the country. They worry about, you know, what's going to happen with Iraq or bombs or whatever. I don't worry about that stuff, brother, because God's still got it under control. I know America's in the shape it's in. I guess I'm going to take too much time. I know that America's in the shape it's in today. But you know what? God's still in control. No matter what the devil tries to do, I know the devil's running around, and I ain't stupid. I'm gonna look around. But God's still in control.
Yes, he
Amen.
did, brother.
Because God's still on the throne.
Amen.
God's still the number one that they are.
Oh, yeah. He always will
And
be.
even though stuff happens, and it happens every day, the Bible says it rains on the just as well as the unjust. We have to go through stuff just like anybody else. But God's still in control. But you know what? My job's not to give up. My job's to keep going, keep plugging along, and keep doing what God would have me to do,
Amen, brother.
have my family do.
Amen.
And that's why I give him the glory. No matter what. And I had to go up to the courthouse today for some stuff. The man told me when I went up there, so I got this thing up here in my pocket because I got mail in 3 different parts of my body. And I have to, you have to give me this thing because when they put that off that thing, it goes off all the time. They put the wand on me, it still goes off. So I got this little card thing that shows what, what all that mail is. And I got that thing on my heart, gotta have one free. And that guy called me, he said I was a bionic man. Remember that show years ago? He said, you got stuff all over you. And I said, well, there's one thing I do got all over me. I said, I got the blood of Christ.
Amen,
brother.
All over me. Oh, I think that's great.
Amen.
So, there was another opportunity witness. I thank God for that.
Amen.
But I just thank God for saving my soul. I guess don't give up. That's what I'm trying to say. No matter what happens, no matter what you have to go through, don't give up.
Amen.
Keep going. Brother Doug knows some stuff I've been going through here lately. Church, you don't know, the pastor does. Stuff I'm having to do personally. There's stuff I'm having to do because, church, I'll just tell you straight up, I don't trust myself. You ever been there? There's stuff I'm having to do that I'm having to, I'll tell you what, it's my tithes. I've got to the point where I wouldn't want to pay my tithes right. So you know what I'm having to do? I'm having to give my pastor my tithes as soon as I get them. Because I can't trust myself to make it to Sunday morning before I won't spend them. So I'm having to give them to my pastor. So that way I make sure
Yes,
my
sir.
tithes is getting paid where they're supposed to for the month.
Yes, sir, bro.
Until I can get myself in tune with God enough to know that I can trust myself to make it to Sunday morning.
Amen.
Give my tithes the way I'm supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
But that's me, that's personal. That's something I have to work on, you see. But I thank God that He gave me enough sense to give me my pastor. Where I don't spend, because I can't trust myself on that matter. That may sound crazy to you, but that's what I have to do. You can ask Him, I've done it for a while now. Because that's what I have to do.
Oh, yeah.
But if that's what I have to do from now on, then that's what I'll have to do. I don't care. Because I'm going to do what God would have me to do. I don't care what the devil says.
Amen, brother.
This world can like it, lump it, or jump it, or bump it. I don't care.
That's my savior.
That's where I got it from. And I'm going to do what God wants me to do. If that's what it takes in tithes and pastors, keep it coming. Until I get to where I can trust myself enough.
I'm charging interest.
Make it from the Sunday morning. And then when I get to that point, we'll thank God for it.
Amen.
But just keep praying for us. Because they ain't none of us perfect.
No, sir.
None of us is perfect. You have seen cast the first stone. I remember when the pastor said, make that statement to me almost 11 years ago. A lot of you here at the church remember that statement, I did. And I still live by that. Because I know I ain't perfect. I make mistakes all the time. But God's there to forgive me. I'm still saved, I'm still born again. Still washed by the blood. And I thank God for it. I love you, church. I can right on fire again. Thank God. Pray for us whenever do God's will. Keep praying for Nathan. Pray for them others under the state. I don't know who they were, but it just upsets me that that school let 3 children dehydrated by not giving them water. That just bothers me. And man, that's negligence. Love you, church.
I was looking for the rocks I had when I said that to you. Yeah, go right ahead.
Today I quit my job from Krispy Kreme because I'm starting Lowe's tomorrow. But before I left this afternoon, the manager asked me, he's like, is there anything you want to say to me? He hasn't been my manager long enough for me to really know anything about him. He's like, you can cuss me out, you can do this, you can do that. I was like, I don't have no reason to. And it blessed my heart because there was a lady in there counting her money down from the day. And she was like, you ain't gonna hear a cuss word come out of that girl's mouth. She don't cuss. And then that's a blessing to know that me working around people and them cussing all day long on the job, but they never hear anything come out of my mouth. You know, it blessed my heart to know that I was able to be, for the time I was at Krispy Kreme, I could be that light, to know that I stand on God's word, and I don't use that language at work or at home, at church, anywhere, and that people noticed it.
Yes.
And it was a blessing to know that people noticed that I don't cuss ever.
Amen.
And I I want to thank God that I was able to be a light to the people I work with, for them to see that in my life.
Amen. That's what we all need to strive for, to see the light of Christ. If you remember, I preached a few weeks ago, we must decrease so we can increase.
Yes, sir.
It might have been last week.
Last week it was.
Was it last week? I can't remember. I preached so much that you don't remember when it was, you just know. The only way you can never get to that point is you gotta let him have full control.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen. Anyone else?
I want to God to say to me, and I know my dad ain't here, but in 2010 he was facing 12 years in prison, and I thank God that when he went to court that day, they said charges are dropped and he's at home. And I have the witness to know that God had it in his hands, God had it under control, because my dad had got saved the night before he had to go to court. And I thank God for having it in his hands, having it under control, because if we didn't have God, where would we be? And I just want to thank him, and I can't even count the blessings that he's given off my family.
Amen. Brother Marcus, you can take you people.
You know, I talked to my pastor, and like Ricky was saying, all of us need help. And I come into the house of God and put a prayer request in the prayer box. Got to the altar and prayed. Because due to circumstances, I had a home, I lost my home. Had to live with my dad. Now I'm living with my mom. But everybody wants their own place. Amen. And I'm searching some scriptures, brother. Psalms 124 and verse number 8. Our help is in the name of the Lord.
In the name.
Who made heaven and earth. You know, I heard a man of God preach one time. How did this earth come into existence? How would they be an earth? Well, it was God.
Yeah, he spoke it.
Amen.
Amen. He spoke it into existence.
How did he make us? He made us, Brother Ricky. Amen.
Amen, brother.
I'm thankful, Pastor, that he answers prayer.
Amen, brother.
I'm thankful, Brother Andrew. He changes our lives.
Amen.
Why? Because he lives in my heart.
Amen.
And we should have that closer walk with thee. We should uplift our Savior because why? He's so worthy.
Amen. Amen.
We should give him praise, Brother Ricky, when we open our eyes because he let our eyes open.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
He gave us the breath. Amen.
Thank God.
I love you, church, and thank God for you.
Love you, brother Marcus. Anyone else?
I'm say I thank God I'm saved. Thank God for what he's done in our lives, you know. I look at my family and they just blow my mind. You know, I truly feel like, you know, God had us grow up and become adults and to live the way we're supposed to live. But the ones who don't accept him, they just kind of seem to wander along. It's like they're constantly searching. I look at my brothers, they change jobs here and there and everywhere, and they're in and out here and in and out there. They can't ever keep anything safe. And it's because they're not standing on the solid rock.
Yeah.
And I thank God that he's, in our lives and that he's got us in his hands and that we are standing on that solid rock. And I thank God for our kids. I've watched Kira over the last little bit, and she's faced some struggles and some battles inside herself. It's not have to do with anything anybody else. It's been inside herself. But I thank God that through his grace, she's came through it. And then JD and I were talking last night, and I thank God for the strength that he has. He looked at me and he says, Mom, I just don't understand why people look in my school look at my class differently. We're not different. We're people too. He said, but he said, being mean to them don't help none.
Where was that at?
You were asleep.
Oh.
But he said, being mean to them don't show them no different. He said, they say the things that they say. He says, and it bothers me. He said, it really does. He said, but he says, I'm not going to worry about it. He said, because it's not worth it. I said, that's right. I thank God that he's put that spirit in him to know that, it doesn't matter. And like I told him, people talk about everybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Come on, that's
It's
right.
not just his class. It's not just another class. They just might hear it more. But there's somebody always talking about somebody if they don't have the Lord. So I just thank God that he's given JD that strength to stand up and say, you know what? I don't care. I'm me and I'm happy with me because I'm the way God made me.
That's it.
And that's a true blessing. There's so many kids out there that want to fit in and that want to, they get into so much trouble or they want to be just like this person or just like that person. But I thank God our kids are individuals. Kira is Kira and you can take her as she is or you can forget it. She doesn't care.
That's it.
And JD's the same way. And I thank God for giving them that strength because neither one of them is mean or anything like that. They're just themselves. And they say, I am what God made me. So I thank God for that because, there's so many kids out there that aren't like that now.
Yeah, I guess I was asleep during that conversation last night.
Young brother died last night. The children had a program in school. And they were all in the flight, giving a presentation. We went to Cassie's class and we watched her and another girl she was with that was putting on her presentation. We walked off and going through the classroom. And we got almost out of the classroom. She hollered back at me. And she said, I'll see you Sunday at church.
Amen.
She said, I'm with my daddy this weekend. And I'll see you Sunday. And there was several people that looked back at her. That youngin was not ashamed that she spoke of Jesus.
Amen.
It didn't bother her one bit.
Amen.
She said, I'll see you at church Sunday. And that blessed my heart to hear that come out of that 13-year-old girl's mouth, bragging on Jesus for that whole classroom, all her classmates. Brother Marshall, that was a blessing.
Boy, I tell you, that just makes a parent feel good.
It does. And she hollered that to that whole room. And I just turned around and said, I'll see you Sunday.
Amen.
I love that. That just
Amen.
fire out of me.
Amen. Yeah, I'm doing good tonight. I'm gonna wait past my bedtime. Since Friday night, I haven't been awake past 7 o'clock. You know, I'm thankful for our kids. Go home.
I was thinking in Creekside, 39 years ago. But Lord, just way down on my flag, pick me up, save me, boy, and I can't think of nothing. People say, hey, why do you run all this cows and go to church? I said, that's where the Lord put me, now where I want to be. The Lord put me there, that's where I'm going. I said, when he tell me to leave, I'll leave. I said, I ain't leaving. I said, y'all people at church often? Yeah, right?
Amen, Joe.
And then they all, well, that's where I want to go. I said, that's church hopping. Where you want to go and where the Lord led you to go.
Amen, brother.
I mean, I come with them over by the house. the flesh would have let me go there. But the Lord wouldn't let me go there, so I ain't going.
Rooted and grounded.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
When the last service of the church, when I lay in that box, they tell you, he's gone. I'm going home. There's no temporary stakes there.
We'll move your membership then to heaven, how's that?
I'm going there.
Good,
Amen.
that's right.
That's something I saw at a funeral one time. I liked it. It was my little cousin. She was deformed. Her name's Faith, wasn't she? From the time she was born, had a rough life. She died about 8 years old. Her pastor was doing a funeral out there in Brevard. He called the church to order for a meeting, moved her membership to heaven. He said, I'm moving her membership off our rolls to heaven. Anyone seconded it? Someone in the crowd seconded it, and then they voted on it. It was neat to see. It's something that, made a lot of sense. It's hard to do that for an adult because you don't know. But for a child, you know. No offense, don't take offense when I say this. I can't tell you whether you're saved or not. I can tell you by your fruits that you're bearing.
Oh, yeah.
But whether you're saved or not, I really don't know that. That's when you have a Lord.
That's it, bro.
Right, amen.
From one on.
Yeah.
And, but I can tell you about the fruits you bear. I can tell you what I think by judging the fruits,
Oh, yeah.
because we are fruit inspectors. But whether I'm saying you're saved or lost, I cannot tell you. That's between you and the good Lord.
That's it, bro.
Right.
Anyone else got testimony? Austin? April? Braylon? Mason? JD? Jaden? Hannah? Amy?
Something about Jesus.
Hey,
Talking about Jesus.
praise God.
On the way to church tonight, she was talking up a storm. She told us all about her teacher hitting her.
Your favorite story.
And the boy on the bus hit her. I said, you want me to go beat him up? Yeah. When we got here, I said, Amy, let's go. Let's walk to your school. She said, it's way up the road.
Way up through.
Way up the road. What a blessing. It was good having Amy and Mason tonight with us. Was that chicken good, Mason? Was it?
I think Miss Sherry could talk, so
But it was a blessing because it's been a long time, Brother Marcus, since I kept up with the top.
They lost their first game. You were still there, so.
No, Mom and Dad were still there, and we did lose her first thing. She took off. We didn't know where she went. She went in the house.
You heard her story. I was still there.
I just had to look around. I said, "Where did Amy go?" And everybody's like, "Well, I don't know." But I'm thankful that I'm able to have that kind of relationship with these kids, where I pulled the only one that's pulled her teeth but one, Jade. I pull every single one of hers but one, For a long time, Caitlin called me other daddy.
Yeah.
Marshall was daddy and I was other daddy. When they were little, it's just, I'm thankful that I've been able to be around these kids like that. I remember April and Nathan really stinking the house up with dirty diapers. Yeah. But, little Austin running around right after his surgery. Hannah was being there all the time. Till I made her mad because I scared her with my hat on and she wouldn't come near me if I had my hat on. Until I bribed her with chocolate. Chocolate and wrestling, yeah. I had Amy watching wrestling tonight. Amen. But I'm thankful that I'm able to be like that with these kids. I've been told by a lot of other pastors that you shouldn't be close to your church members like you are. Thought about it. I said, why not?
That's everybody,
Why wouldn't I be close to my church members?
God's family.
Never let them have
Well, they said, well, you can't preach then what you need to preach.
Well,
it. You can.
I said, oh, I can preach what I need to preach.
oh, yes, sir.
And I think you all know it. I don't cut no corners when it comes to that.
That's a good way to go.
I'll laugh with you all day long and joke with you all day long. But when it comes time to preaching, it's time to preach.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
preach to.
Amen.
I'm thinking y'all understand that. You know, I mean, a lot of church members wouldn't understand preaching against 50 Shades of Grey. Amen. Oh, I had so
Come on now.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
But I want to ask this. If there's one thing you could change about our church, what would it be? Brother Reed first.
Like change that.
Joe?
I don't have no pockets.
Activities for you, basically.
What could I change? You know, one thing I think we could change? Ourselves. Live a closer walk with God.
Come on, brother. Yes,
Live
sir.
a Christ-filled walk with God. I know it's gonna be a lot like Sunday night. I wasn't able to preach real hard Sunday night. That one time I got cut loose there once, I thought I was gonna die. I thought everything in my chest was coming out. But what's the one thing we can change in our own selves? See, if we change something in ourselves, it changes something in the church.
That's right. There you go.
What you do on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday affects what happens here on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Amen. Yes, it does.
If you live that week close to God, then boy, we're gonna have some powerful services.
Yeah,
If you're falling away from God, we ain't going to.
that's right.
You say, well, one person can't stop that. Listen, one person can hinder that.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Let me not live much close to God during the week as I can. Watch what happens on Sunday when I come in here to preach.
Life's gonna show.
I'm going to show you.
That's right.
I want you to look at this verse with me. Matthew chapter 11. Verse 28. I'll go ahead and tell you, smart water does not make you any smarter. But boy, I love it. Verse 28 says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Amen.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in my heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." You can be seated. Preacher, how does that have to do with dealing with change? Take my yoke upon you. What is a yoke? When it says yoke here, what does it mean? What is a yoke? Anyone got an idea? No, he says that later, that his burden is easy. Yoke. go. His blood, his cells. All of you is looking at me like, huh? A lot of times we read these scriptures and we really don't know what they're saying. Take my yoke upon me, meaning take my blood, and then learn of me.
Oh, yes, sir.
Then learn of me. After you receive my blood, then learn of me. What's the one thing that hurts a Christian today? They're learning. How Andrew, you're a preacher, so I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use you here. Hopefully it don't bother you. How often do you pick your Bible up a week? Other than church times? Not enough. How often do I pick mine up? Not enough. It's hard for us to learn of him if we don't ever pick the Bible up. You know, one thing I hated in school? Studying.
Yeah.
I never once studied when I was in school. I flunked all year long, but I'd aced the test and never studied. You explained to me how I done that, and there'll be two of us that's real happy. Kids, don't do that because it makes a rough life. They give us outlines to study for a test coming up. I'd shut that book and throw it in the book bag, and I wouldn't open it again. I'd walk into class, I'd read the first question, I'd go, well, I guess it's over here. Then I'd use the Christmas tree effect. I'd Christmas tree it. Which is not a good way to do it. Yes, I passed it, but not everybody did. I had some buddies that done the same thing I did, and they flunked.
Yeah.
I was just lucky enough that I was dumb enough that I dumbly guessed it right. One of the worst things for a Christian is they don't want to study anymore.
Yep.
They don't want to change anything. That's why when the preacher asks you what does yoke mean, it's like, please don't call me. Please don't call me. How many ever sat in school when the teacher was asking a question and go, please don't call me, please don't call me? Stopped it a whole bunch. I remember, and I'll tell you this, and this way we do as Christians. I sit in class and have me a spitball on the inside of my blue jean jacket. You remember them blue jean jackets we used to wear in the 80s and 90s? So I love them things. Hey, inside pocket, had me a spitball in there and had me a big old dip in. I was over there, the teacher asked a question. I didn't know what it was. I was done like kissing. I was gonna spit my spitball, and she thought I'd raised my elbow. She called on me. Son, you talking about scared to death. I swallowed every bit of that dip.
Been there, done that.
I swallowed every bit of it because I was like, oh my goodness. My heart hit my toes. And I had no clue what she had asked.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the answer to what she had asked. Let alone I didn't know the question, but I didn't know the answer neither. Son, Brother Ricky, I was trembling, and I was in high school at this time. And I think she asked me something to do, it was Miss Waters, so it had to do with English. She asked me something about a vowel, and I never knew the difference between a vowel and a consonant and whatever. I never knew all that stuff. And the only thing I sit beside my buddy Justin, she said vowels. I said, well, that's part of a car motor. She thought I was being funny. She liked me. My daughter can tell you she has her as a substitute now. Miss Waters loved me. But it didn't stop her from giving me a detention. I got a 2-hour detention for that. I know y'all don't understand what detentions is anymore.
No.
They give y'all lunch detention. You gotta sit by yourself.
In school time.
Yeah, it's school time now. Detention was you stayed after school and you done book work in that class for an hour. Or you cleaned the class, you done work. And that teacher stayed right over top of you the whole time. I had 2 2-hour detentions in my life. The second one, now listen to me. This will show you, if you don't pay attention, what happens. You end up having, even with a high school diploma, I had to work my hind end off around hot asphalt all the time just to make ends meet. I graduated high school. I graduated the lowest part of my class. That's why it's important to study. Mr. Seaman was a wrestling coach. I sit in his class. He taught math, and he had a bald head. And I had a straw and a spit wash. I sit in the back of the class, and I put that straw up there, put that spit wash in, boom, pow, right on the back of his head. He had his back to me. He didn't know it was me at first. He turned around and said, when I catch you ever doing it, so he turned back around writing on the chalkboard. I mean, I hit him probably 10 times. And I thought, he's never going to catch me.
That's where you're wrong.
So he turned around to go right on that board again. I said, I'm going to get him the 11th time. By the time I got like this, he turned around. And I spit it and hit him right there. He gave me 2-hour detention.
Yep.
And he knew my dad was a pastor. And he knew Wednesday nights was not a good night. Guess when my detention was? Wednesday night. Yeah. 2 hours after school. Back then, church started at 6. That put me getting out of detention at 5. And his class was way on the far end of Ace Girls High School. So I had to come all the way out. It was probably 5:30 before I got out to the car. Oh, yeah. So that's what happens. Oh, I got in trouble, Brother Reese. Oh, I got in trouble. But by not studying and just winging myself through and just breezing myself through school, shooting spitwads, being cool. None of y'all ever do that, do you?
Never.
Amazing that I shoot them at my friends. But you don't do stuff like that, do you? You don't just try to breeze your way through school, do you? You always do every bit of your work on time. It's turned in right then. You're never late on nothing. Yep. And see, that's what you get to look forward to, is one day you'll be out there shoveling asphalt. Because you're not studying. Or you're having to work 80 hours a week just to make ends meet. You ever work like your dad's having to work? You say, well, preacher, what's wrong with that? By not studying, we have to work like that.
Yeah.
But if we'd have studied, we could be sitting behind the desk and be off at 2:30 every day. It's just the same as a Christian. If you don't ever study, you never become a stronger Christian.
That's right. That's
Right,
it.
If you
amen.
don't, listen, if you don't change habits somewhere in your life,
That's it.
at some point you gotta change.
Mhm.
Brother Ricky, I had to learn that the hard way. But at some point I had to change, Brother Joe. I had to quit wasting my money. I had to quit thinking about going out to eat every day. I had to quit thinking about just wasting gas to drive wherever. Well, preacher, I can cut it out. I'll just quit wasting gas going to church. I'm not saying going to church is wasting gas, but just running everywhere else. Running 30 times to Walmart in 5 days. At some point, you have to grow a line.
That's right.
And you have to change stuff if you're going to make it.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Same as in your Christian walk, you got to change stuff.
That's right. Exactly.
You have to start opening the Bible. You have to start praying. You have to start doing stuff like that.
Mhm.
You can't just always go along carefree like nothing's going to happen.
That's right.
You'll end up with nothing.
That's right.
I would hate, Brother Joe, I ain't rented in 5 years. I'd hate to have to rent today.
Oh, yeah.
I see the prices, what some of y'all are paying, and that blows me away because the highest I ever paid for rent was $450 a month. And that was on a 3-bedroom with a full kitchen, full dining room, full living room, house with a full basement with 3/4 of an acre front yard and 3/4 of an acre backyard. Brother Marshall, you remember, is out in Swanano. It's a nice place, wasn't it? And I paid $450 a month. And I see some of y'all having to pay $700, $800. And I'm like, my goodness, they ain't no way I can rent today. What are you getting at? I'm thankful I don't have to rent. God's made it where I don't have to.
You're right.
If the Lord allows, Brother Joe, time allows, in less than a year, my place will be paid for. I'll never have to pay another payment on my place other than paying taxes. That's the Lord's helped me get through that.
Amen.
That could change any minute, Brother Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
My wife could leave me. It could happen. If I reverted back to my old ways and started wasting money all the time. But see, I had to change. I had to grow up at some point.
That's it.
And as a Christian, at some point, I had to grow up.
That's right. Exactly.
And I had to realize, hey, I need to study.
Uh-huh.
He's already given me his blood. I took his blood upon me. Now I need to learn of him. You know, the hard part is to learn.
You're right.
Don't look at me like that.
Sure.
That's it.
Between old Buck and Bill, there is a lot of space. And it's to learn. But then, don't you look. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. My wife can tell you tonight, as I said, since Friday night, I've been falling asleep at 7 o'clock on the couch. This is the latest I've been up in a while, since Friday. Last night, they had conversations. She said I helped slide him up in bed. She said you talked to Kira when she come in. I don't remember none of it. So I've been out. I've been getting some pretty decent rest. I've been getting about 12 hours sleep at night.
last few days. I guess because I don't feel good. I work all day and then I get home and I'm just drained.
Oh, yeah.
Now tonight, Amy gave me a little bit of energy. I mean, you had to have energy with her. I mean, Sherry took her in the bathroom and she come out and her hair was fixed and she had makeup on. Look at Andrew's face at me. She got dolled up. But she told me stories.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good time with her.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt rested, Brother Ricky. I felt rested. You know where I find the most rest at? So when I open that Bible and start to
That's
read
right.
it.
Exactly.
When I get on my knees and I start to pray, I start finding that meekness. I start finding that lowliness. I start finding that rest.
Oh, yeah.
The rest. At some point, we have to find rest. For my yoke is easy. And my burden is light. He says, let me carry your heaviness. And you take all mine. See, he carried your heaviness right to there.
Right.
He carried your heavy burden of sin right to there. You ever sat back and said, man, I wish it was like it was in the 90s again? You ever done that? Or said, man, I wish I could go back to school?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Joe said,
Yeah.
I change stuff. I do stuff different. Andrew right now will be playing for the Atlanta Braves if he went back to school, wouldn't
I wish.
he? He said, me too. But think about it. Don't you wish you could go back and know then what you know now? Wouldn't you change some stuff? If you could, Brother Ricky, I'm sure you would have quit that company that poisoned you way before you did. You'd have never started there to start with. Brother Joe, I'm sure you wouldn't have come out to the Army for that little span and then went back in. I think you'd probably stayed straight on through. Oh, I don't know. But there's things that if we could change, we'd go back and change.
Yeah.
But there's a reason we can't go back and change it. It's in the past.
That's right.
It's behind us. Quit thinking about it. Quit trying to bring it up. That's why you stay unsettled, is because you keep bringing up the past.
That's
You
right.
keep bringing up what happened in 1999.
That's right.
Well, you know what happened in 1999? I don't know either. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah.
Quit trying to bring it up.
Water under the bridge.
That was 98 for Columbine. Or was it 99? 99, no, you're right, 99. But you think about this tonight. If you're steady bringing up your sins from the past, you're unsettled with God, and that's why you don't feel settled and you don't feel the rest from God.
There you
Come
go.
on.
That's it.
Right, amen.
Makes sense.
He says, find rest for your souls. Lord, I'm sorry I did it. He's already forgiven you once of it. Quit saying it all over again. You can't keep getting resaved and resaved over the same thing.
There you go.
Amen.
He forgives you. Forget about it. He forgot about it. You forget about it.
There you go.
You will never grow in Christ if you cannot forget about the sin that you once committed.
That's right.
Amen. Well, that's the truth.
If you're still trying to think about what happened back then and the sins you committed back then, you'll never grow with Christ.
There you go.
You will stay unsettled.
That's it.
It's the same, Brother Ricky, if I thought back, and I'm just gonna use this for an example. My wife, we've been together, quite a few years. What is this, 2017? So we've been together 18 years. Am I right? I am? Okay, good. When you get that far along, they start running together, you like, how far along has it been? But our marriage wouldn't lasted this long. It wouldn't be where it is today, is if I kept thinking about, oh, I had this other girlfriend.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
Well,
truth.
that's where the end
If I kept thinking about my old girlfriend, or my fiance I had before her, it don't work like that.
No.
Because your marriage is staying unsettled because you're thinking about that stuff.
There you go.
And not thinking about who you're supposed to be thinking about.
Right.
If you're thinking about the sins that you once committed, you're not thinking about God.
There you go. Yes, right.
If you're thinking about your other girlfriends that you had before, your wife that you got now, or your other boyfriends before the husband you got now, then your marriage is not going to work. It's going to stay unsettled because you're thinking about them and not your spouse.
That's right. Exactly.
Hello.
See how it works together?
That's it.
We've got it flip-flopped.
There you go.
One of the worst things that ever was invented for married couples was Facebook.
You're right.
Mhm.
Amen.
Oh, that's the truth.
I've got one. Me and my wife got one together.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it worse thing? Because think about it. How many friends are you on there with that was your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend? My ex-girlfriend, my ex-fiance sent us a friend request. My wife said, oh, we'll accept it. I said, no, delete. Preacher, are you crazy? No, I don't want that. I ain't thinking about her.
That's
I'm
it.
thinking about her.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm trying to think about what the devil had me doing 20 years ago, and I ain't thinking about what God's got me doing today,
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man, no part in it. Yeah.
you will never get your rest for your soul if you're on be like that.
Exactly.
You're right. Amen.
You've got to let the past be the past. Amen.
Exactly.
There's something happened in Sherry's life right before we got together. And when we first got together, we got in an argument, so I throw that up in her face every time.
Mhm.
I would.
Mhm.
Preacher.
Mhm.
She'd say, that's in the past. What happened, preacher? I'll tell you, she was raped. Right before we got together. She was drugged and raped. Boy, Brother Marshall, I throw that up to her. Every time we get an argument. If you hadn't been in that area, you wouldn't have been done that way. So eventually I had to realize
God ain't gonna let me fall.
it wasn't her fault.
Exactly.
All I'm doing is hurting her by bringing up the past.
Yes, sir.
You're right. Amen.
If I love her, I shouldn't want to hurt her.
Amen, bro.
Right. If you love God, you shouldn't want to hurt him by thinking about your past instead of thinking about him.
That's right.
Right. Amen.
Yes, sir.
It's been years since I did that, ain't it, baby? Why has it been years? Because I realized I didn't want to hurt her anymore. That's my wife.
Yes, sir.
That's the love of my life. A lot of you didn't know that, but that took place. Because we don't talk about it. We don't bring that up. That's something that's pitiful.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have happened. That's my wife. I love her.
Yes, sir, bro.
I'm not going to hurt her. He's my God. I'm going to forget about that back yonder because I love him now.
That's right.
Back yonder, I didn't love him. That's why I did what I did back yonder.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
But I love him today.
Amen.
That's why I want to look to him today. Hey, you think Sunday would have took place like it did on the radio broadcast if we had been, someone had been in tune with God?
Come on, bro.
Okay.
Have you heard why it took place? Son, I'm telling you, God just sitting down on a radio station, and for a 2-hour block, it was like revival was right in there. We even give altar call on there. Preacher. But you gotta be close to God today.
That's right, exactly.
Can't be living in the past.
Church of God.
Hey, don't live on past revival. We'll have a revival of today.
There you go.
Right, right.
That's right.
It's been a while since we had one.
Mhm.
But that's when we had was a good one. But we had to pray it in.
That's right.
That was stand to our feet. Oh,